We are assembling the Sea Life pop-up cards. I have done some preparation prior to starting, and I'm just going to jump right into preparing the base. We have 5 bases here. You are going to mountain fold and valley fold these score lines here for this 1/4 inch space that we're going to glue down to the inside of this pop-up. And we're going to prep all 5 bases. Okay, so now you can see we have this 1/4 inch space here glued down to the inside on the top and bottom. And we're going to do that to all 5 bases. I've already glued the decorative panels in place. For mine, I've inked the paper different colors for the different characters that are going to go with them. Because this is so thick in such a small space, you will have to hold it down a few seconds longer to get it to stay. So we're folding down and then folding back up. Fold down, then fold back up. You have score lines that will guide you where to fold those. Okay. 2 more. So hopefully, I feel like you will see this enough times that you'll get the hang of this. And now the last one. So I like to do this first, give this plenty of time to dry thoroughly so it doesn't pull apart when we're making the card. Okay, so with those done and out of the way, let's take a look at our front insert. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I've got the pieces right here. And what I've done is I've just inked under my stars to make it look darker underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna, and on these I ink the tips, and I don't really like that. I wish I would have left it plain, but I've already done it, so it's done on this one. And I'm just putting a little glue here between each set of dots and in the center. And then the sand dollar. You do not want to add any foam tape to these pieces. My rule of thumb when I'm doing these is anything within 1.5 to 2 inches from the base, I don't add any foam tape to, because that will be on the inside of this base when we fold it. So it's the width here of the base, and it'll interfere with how the card closes. So the front piece is the same on each one, and then we've got this back piece, which is made up of these pieces here. And what I've done is I have cut out this piece in the color that I wanted this grass to be. In the event that you don't have enough color that you want for this piece is also included in the file, so that like you could do this white or black or whatever color you had, and then you can add the green that you wanted if you just have a small section of it. Okay, I didn't need to cut this out because I had enough of the color I wanted the grass to be. I've also bent these pieces to give it a little more depth here and to make the grass look a little more flowy. Okay, so now we'll do that with this one. And I'm going to start by putting the rock down. And I have inked the edges here of my grass. I just used my dauber and just ran it along the edges of my grass pieces. And you can kind of tell if you look here at the pieces, they'll fit right in like a puzzle. That one goes there. Then this one comes up and it's this piece here. Then this one has a little tip and it goes down to there. Okay. And I'm just going to use my finger now and just rub it along there. Fold it down, up, down and up. Just make it wavy. I'm going to just put glue here at the bottom. And the only place I really want to line it up is kind of towards the bottom. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit off coming up, because it'll just make your grass look a little bit fuller. And then the next one that I'm going to do, I can see here that I must have left this one to ink with you. So I'm just going to rub this along the edges. just do the same thing, just kind of curl it back and forth, back and forth. Again, just put glue towards the bottom. And glue that into place. Now the last one. There we go. See how I have it kind of wavy? I'm just going to apply glue to the bottom. Oops. Try not to tear it up. There we go. I really like the look you get with that. It really makes that look like a full section of seaweed. So here you just want to put the glue on the base piece, not the pieces that we just folded up. So you could glue this down first if you wanted to, and then add your grass blades. I've done it both ways. I prefer putting them on before I glue it down. Then I apply pressure under my grass that I've bent, because I don't want to flatten it after I took the time to fluff it up. Okay, so that's how I prepared my back piece, and those are all the same. So now we're just going to start pulling in some pieces here. What I'm looking at is where I intended this other coral piece to be. So I'm going to need to pull up on my computer real quick. Let me look at one of my PDFs and see if I wanted both of those coral pieces on the front, or if I wanted one on the back. Okay, so they do both go on this piece. So let's set those aside for a minute and let's build our person. So I'm going to start here with his face. And again, that 2-inch rule is going to apply on this piece as well. And I will hold him up here to his rock and show you. He's going to sit like right in here. So like from this rock, from the top of this rock piece here down, like I wouldn't want to put foam tape here on the tail, but I could add some foam up here to the top. Okay. I'm going to put on his crown. And then add his hair. And let's go ahead and put his hair on his head. And we can put together his beard and mustache. Now you could leave this top mustache piece off. I just like having the definition of that line. And then I think that I do want just a little bit of dimension here at the top of his head. So I'm going to put a foam square just up here at the very top, and then I'm going to glue down all the rest of him, just to kind of lift him up just a little. And you just want to line up his hands. And I'm gonna pop this coral right here behind him. Now these coral pieces you can put anywhere you want. I think I'm gonna put both of them behind. I think on the PDF I have the coral like under his leg, but to me that looks a little bit flat. I've done it on another one, and I think I'd rather have it setting up here behind him. Then I'm going to put a little touch of glue here on his hand and give him his Triton. He would not be Poseidon without his Triton. Oops. Okay, so there he is. Now we also have a mermaid. I'm just going to go ahead and glue down her hair. You want to make sure you put this down first. And now let's put her face together. And you'll notice that there is a cutout here on her face piece. You just want to line that up with her mouth. And then in there you're going to add her lip color. Okay. Put on her hair. Now let's add her tail. I like to put her tail on before her top because it'll help me line up where I want the top to be. And I'm going to do her the same way that I did Triton because I really like how that turned out. So I'm just going to put my foam tape right at the top. And then I'm going to glue down the rest. There we go. Oopsie. And again, I'm going to put the coral behind the rock. I just think that that adds a little more dimension. Maybe even have it come up above her hair, just like that. And then put some here for the other side. Okay, and there's the mermaid. We have a seahorse. And the first thing we're going to do is put the circle behind her eye. And then glue her into place. Each one of these files is sold separately. Now, the seahorse sits up above, almost completely up above the rock. So I'm not going to worry as much about popping the horse up because I should have plenty of space for that. I'm going to cut off a small piece for the fin. I have to do that in half again. Okay. But I am going to glue the tail down just to about right there. There we are. And I think I'm going to keep with putting the coral behind since I can't pop it up because it's right here at the rock. And with the thickness of this paper, let me mention, because I haven't mentioned yet, that all of these pieces, the center base pieces, are doubled. I glued those together prior to starting and dried them under my mat so that they would dry flat. So these have already been doubled, and the same with this base piece. That is doubled as well. You need that stability with this pop-up card. If you don't do that, you'll run into some problems. Just won't feel sturdy. Okay, so this is our jellyfish. There's extra tentacles here, kind of along the same lines as the seaweed. I'm just going to put glue here at the top. I'm not going to curl them, but I'm also not going to line them up exactly, because it'll just make his legs look a little fuller. So this one matches the outside one, and then that one matches that one. So I'm just going to kind of do it like that. You want to put these on first. They fit underneath the jellyfish head. Just like that. And I am going to pop this up, give it a little bit of dimension. It's a little harder to line it up when you're popping it. And then this is going to go in place. I'm only going to glue the head. I'm going to leave, and I think I might just fold these just a little, not quite as much as the seaweed in the back, but just a little, just to make them look a little fuller. I'm not going to glue the tentacles down. I'm only going to glue it down here at the head. And just kind of leave those to be loose. Again, I'm going to put the coral behind the rock. There we are. So there's our jellyfish. And then we have a crab. I think he's probably the easiest one. So I'm going to start by assembling his eyes. Pop-up cards are still my favorite. I do like the new slice cards because they actually give you the ability to make the pieces bigger, but I feel like you can do a lot more dimension in these pop-up cards. And I'm going to pop him up. He's sitting on top of the rocks. I'm not going to worry about his dimension. I think he'll be okay. we go. Now for him, because he doesn't have as much going on with everything, I think I might put his coral, this one coral piece here in the front, just to help him out a little, because he's not as he doesn't have as many colors as everybody else. Now this piece here I'm still going to put behind. And there they are. Whoops. So now I will show you how we assemble the card. Okay, so this one has the red, so this one is for the crab. And I'm just folding these last score lines down here. And you've got one piece here that has two lines, and one of the lines is on the fold. And you'll notice that on the bottom it only has one. This is your top, and this is where this piece goes. So our characters are the center, and the seashells or the sand dollar is the front, and our seagrass is the back. Okay, so then when you open it up, you're looking at it like this. And I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to start over here with this one. And I'm going to take it through the top and fold it down through the bottom. And I can see right now that I have a problem because I thought I had checked that. But my stones are wider than my base. So anytime you're working with one of these cards from anybody, you want to, I will have to change the size of that stone. So I'll go in and fix that. But you want to make sure that just right here at the bottom, that your piece is not wider than your base. So I'm just going to trim these around. It was just a little bit wider on this side. I must have been sizing it to the center. So that should work. I think that that'll come up over the side, but I'm going to take it down just a little bit more. There we go. And again, I will make that adjustment in the file so that you don't have to worry about that. You're going to flip it over, and you are going to fold this tab up. Now again, you have inserted this through the bottom. Now we're gluing this to the bottom here of the card. You're going to turn it back over, and now we are going to put our starfish in. And you want to turn this over and glue it to the bottom. Okay, then we're going to insert our center. And see, that's what I did. I sized it to the center. Okay, so we're going to put glue just right here. Move this over. Right here on your centerpiece, and we're going to fold this tab up, and we're just going to glue it just to the centerpiece. Okay, when you push that, you see that it's lifting the thing, but the top is not going with it. And so we're going to do the same thing right here at the top. We're going to glue right underneath this tab. Glue that in place. Let me just see if I have. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put glue right here on these tabs, on this one and this one. And we're going to bring this over, and we are going to glue these in place. And then you're going to check your card, and you're going to see that you have your tabs glued together. We've got our other pieces glued to the side, to the bottom. And we're going to close this up. And there is our Sea Life pop-up card. Now I'm not going to put the rest of these together because I have to adjust this back piece. You can see that my trimming it just needs to be trimmed just a little. But that did it. And there it is. Thank you for joining me.